You're listening to From Find to Fabulous podcast, where we explore energy, mindset, spirituality, and all things woo. I'm Michelle, here with Dylan and Wright, and together we are on this journey with all of you to transform our lives from mundane to magical. Hello, welcome back. How are you?
You live so far away.
I do.
Yeah.
We live on opposite ends of town, for sure.
It
Yes.
wasn't too bad. It was about, 35 minutes?
Yeah, but it's like it would have been faster if the express lane was actually an express lane and not a slower than the regular traffic lane.
Yeah, we were
But
waving at the other people going past us
yeah,
while we were in the express lane.
but it was happening for us,
Yeah,
not
we
not
did
to
we did
us.
tell each other that
So
it's happening for us,
yeah,
not to us.
it's funny how just repeating that in your head will make you laugh at a situation. It's ridiculous, but
Exactly.
yeah.
Lighten it up.
Exactly. So, but yeah, we're here. So we made it.
Glad to be
Great.
back.
Yes, I'm excited, ready to jump in here with a new topic
Mm.
for today.
What are we talking about?
Do you believe that we are guided by some sort of higher power?
No, I don't know. I go back and forth on that.
I think I have my moments. I think I kind of agree with Dylan. I find myself going back and forth trying to figure out, is it something or is it in my head? You know? And then I think just questioning it in itself is kind of like saying, maybe there is.
Those coincidences or synchronicities happen a lot. It's like the more I started believing that they meant something, the more they started happening. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. And whenever I'm driving, I recognize, especially on license plates, repeating numbers.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like, I see it quite a lot. And sometimes I even make a joke out of it because sometimes I'll see 111 and then the next one I see is 222 and then the next one is 333
Yeah.
and it's like a progression and so then I laugh and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm recognizing this, but I don't know what the
What
message
what it
is. If there's a
means.
message.
It's counting down to something
Yeah, yeah,
bad or good.
exactly.
Something.
Or up.
Or
Or up.
yeah.
Wait, do you see it on the front license plates or the back license
Well,
plates?
I'm usually behind the person,
Okay.
still on their back license
It-
plate
Okay.
when I see
So
it. And
moving forward,
and
that must be
sometimes
what it
even
means.
in like, phone numbers on vehicles, you'll see repeating numbers.
Is that
What
phone
what do
numbers?
those mean to you though when you see those?
Well, nowadays, those to me are angel numbers.
Oh.
And so usually if I see a repeating number several times in a row, like on the clock and then on a license plate, and then, several times, I'll
Yeah.
go Google it and see what that angel number means. And a lot of times, um, there's multiple meanings. And so if you just read through the meanings, to me, I just look at them and go, which one stands out to me? That's the message that's meant for me in that moment. So obviously, you guys get that I believe this and that I think we um,
I mean, you got me believing.
are guided in ways. Um, and like Dylan said, with synchronicities and numbers, and I don't mean guided in the way of religion necessarily, but in just some other kind of spiritual type higher power, or even your own higher self,
Yeah.
your soul maybe, or um, not necessarily through a religion. So Dylan, you talked about synchronicities.
Yeah.
Um, Have you ever felt like you got like guidance to do something or to
Um, yeah, I feel like um I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. I feel like examples of that I'm thinking of aren't examples of that. Maybe it's just maybe I'm just noticing the coincidences or the synchronicities,
Mhm.
and I just take that as uh like I'm on the right path. Whatever I'm doing right now, I'm doing the correct thing I'm supposed to be doing at this time. So when it happens, like a deja vu type of thing, I just take that as okay, I'm on the right path, or the agents changed something.
The agents,
Yeah.
like in the
Like
Matrix.
the Matrix, yeah.
What about
So,
you, right?
Um, I think for me, it's kind of hard to tap into that sometimes, and but I think when I can actually like stop and think and try to
okay.
stop controlling things as much, that's when I notice it more. For example, I think it's more of a feeling of like it feels good versus when you know you're going against your gut and you just kind of go with the flow. That's when I notice it the most, I think. I'm
Mm,
trying to think of a specific example, but
yeah, it's hard to think of
yeah.
examples, but I agree. I just kind of like let is that song Jesus Takes the Wheel kind of makes a little bit of sense, because it's just like I'm not overwhelmed by anything, but just letting go and not feeling like I have to be in control as much. It just seems like better things happen when I do that instead of trying to control everything around me.
And that's when I kind of want to take control again and be like, I'm the one that thought of that. So
Yeah.
I'm the one that made that happen, I think
Yeah, right.
that's where I get caught, and not just realizing that I'm definitely not the strongest power in this world, much less the universe. So why can't there be something that's more than me?
Yeah, definitely. Why can't there be a connection that is you or is part of you that gives you the power?
Like in a like a guardian, like our guides,
Yeah, or
like from a
God
previous
or Buddha
life.
or whatever
Or
you believe in,
okay.
you know? Why I mean, if they say and I don't know the Bible specifically, but they say that we are created in the likeness of God. So if we are created in the likeness of God,
Hmm.
then we are God. We are the God of us,
Yeah,
right? So, and if, like Wright said, in the moments when you're not trying to control everything and have, you know, that, you know,
kind of let nature run its course or
yeah,
the
and you
universe.
trust or and it comes to you, then, why not have that belief or that sense that it's your power coming through you that allowed you to have that experience or create whatever. I think what Wright was bringing up was his ego saying, I'm not the all powerful. I'm not the Wizard of Oz.
Or lack of
Yeah.
ego.
But I just want to be sometimes.
Yeah. So I think that's really
It's
interesting.
true.
I think I can remember three very specific times in my life when I felt like I definitely got a message. I think they call it clairaudience, where it actually is like you hear.
Clairaudience?
Yes.
Like
So
not clairvoyance?
clairvoyance is clear seeing. So it's like if you see visuals
Oh.
or like a movie playing in your head or a visual of
Yeah,
something, that's
that's clairvoyance, like a
that's
vision.
clairvoyance.
Okay.
But mine have been more clairaudient type things. And mind you, long, long time ago when I was a teenager were the first two times. And when it happened, it wasn't something that I knew anything about. And it kind of baffles me now when I think back of it about it. Like, why didn't I wonder where that was coming from?
Like a voice?
Like a voice. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was talking to me. And I'll just give you a really quick example. So the
Yeah.
first time I can remember I was a child, I moved from Florida to Texas with my family. I was in middle school
Hmm.
and I hated it. And I was miserable in my life for about probably a year and a half
Hmm.
because I had moved away from all my friends where I had grown up, my grandparents, all of the things. And so I was, I guess, kind of a shy girl. I didn't make friends easily. And everybody that I had ever known, all my best friends were in Florida.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much miserable for about a year and a half. And then suddenly, one day in the middle of my misery, I hear a voice saying, "You know, you're doing this to yourself. You don't have to be miserable. You are choosing to be miserable."
Oh,
I don't think I've ever had that
I
happen.
used to hate hearing that from adults. Like, you don't have to be upset, or just like, you
Well,
don't
in
understand.
yeah, well,
You just
in
don't get it. You've never been in my position before, and it's
right,
just like
and
they absolutely have been.
it's so easy to have that attitude when someone is saying it to you,
Yeah,
right?
but I wasn't ready to hear it then.
Right?
Yeah,
And I didn't, I mean, it just came into my head. It was just
that's
there.
that's interesting.
So how do you argue with that? You know, and then I mean, I literally just thought to myself, oh my gosh, if that's true, and I like to have fun and I like to be happy, then I can choose to be happy and to have fun. And from that day forward, I was not miserable anymore.
Nice.
So that's the first time I felt like, now looking back, that that was some sort of guidance or higher power or
Yeah.
guide or angel or somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right, giving me that information. And maybe, like you said, I was ready to hear it in that moment. I
Yeah.
mean, because I had been miserable for a year and a half. And, you know, back then we didn't talk about depression or hear about it, but I have a feeling I was probably experiencing some depression.
Yeah. I mean, you just moved. All your friends left. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
this was what, the early 2000s. You know, the
Oh
internet
yeah,
was just
no,
coming out.
it was way before that, Dylan. Way before that. And then the second time it happened, it was also when I was a child. I was, I guess, around 16 because I was driving.
Oh.
And I had bought myself a car. And so in my family, if I was going to drive and have my own car, I had to buy the car, I had to pay for the insurance, I had to pay for all the upkeep on the car, I had to buy my own gas.
Mm,
All the stuff was my responsibility. So my dad had given me the money for the car, but I
mm-hmm.
was making payments to him. And so if I didn't have the money to make my payment to him, then
They
I
just
didn't get
take
to
your
drive.
car.
He
Yeah.
took the keys.
Ugh.
So there was one particular time when I was um, out of money,
Uh-oh.
wasn't scheduled to work or get paid anymore. The payment was coming up. I was running out of gas. I was, you know, very stressed and worried about what I was going to do, hoping somebody would call me to babysit or whatever. And, you know, it was something that was because I had already lost my car probably the month before
No.
from not paying. And then I had to make up the money to pay.
Did you think about running away?
I didn't think about running away. I just wanted to make the payment so I could, you know, do my
It's the
stuff,
responsible thing
go
to
to
do.
work, you know, do all my activities with my friends and all of that.
Yeah.
So this particular time, this was back in the day when um, this was high school. I'm going to say some things that maybe I'm not proud of, but
Uh-oh.
the kids in high school used to go to the lake on Friday nights, Saturday nights, whatever, to hang out with friends, to drink, listen to music, have a bonfire, whatever. So I may have attended that once or twice.
Or 3 or 4.
Yes, some amount of times.
All
So
the times.
this particular time when I was so stressed about the money and not making the payment and not having very much gas left in my car and all of that, I woke up on, I believe it was a Sunday morning, and this voice said to me, "Go to the lake." And I thought to myself, why would I go to the lake? And the voice kept saying, "Go to the lake." And I thought, I don't have very much gas.
You can hear
Well,
this clearly?
oh, yes. And I argued with myself about, why would I go to the lake? I don't have enough gas. What
Hmm.
if I run out of gas? Why should I go to the lake? But it wouldn't stop. It said it over and over again, go to the lake. So finally, now again, mind you, I don't even consider where this is coming from, who's telling me this, what it means. Like, none of that enters my mind. I'm just having this argument with myself about this. So I'm like, fine, I'm going to go to the lake. Well, at the time, my little sister was, I don't know, 4 maybe. So I
Oh,
packed her up in the car with me because I wasn't going to go to the lake by myself. How weird
yeah.
would that be?
Yeah, that'd be
Right?
real weird.
So I
Did the
packed her.
voice tell you to take your sister?
No,
Oh.
no, no. That was my
As
own.
you were walking out the door, it's like, don't forget your sister.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
No, I just decided to take her because I thought it would look more normal if I show up at the lake with someone else and not just like, here I am at the lake doing what? I
This
don't know.
voice told me to come here.
Exactly. Weird, right?
You'd get like admitted.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't I think I was
They
crazy?
would perform a lobotomy.
Oh, so I drive to the lake
Yeah.
and I get there and I park, get out of the car, and I look around and I see all this trash and debris
Yeah.
from the high schoolers from the night before. And I thought, ew, what a mess. So I'm standing there, and then here's the voice in my head that says, look in that bag.
Oh.
And I say to myself, ew, I don't want to look in that bag. I don't want to touch it. The voice says, look in the bag. So I'm like, all right, fine. I go over, I pick up the bag, and guess what's in the bag? Money.
Gold. Oh, money.
Oh,
Money.
you were close.
There's money in the bag. So I'm like, oh my
How much?
gosh. I don't remember how much.
Like hundreds?
No, it was like change, like some dollars and some
Oh,
change
okay.
from like, people buying beer or whatever. And they
Yeah.
throw their change in the bag.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So it was like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's money in this bag. So of course I take the money and then I think, all right, I'm going to put the trash in the trash bin. So I tell my little sister, we're going to go around and we're going to look in every bag, every box, everything. And if you find any money, give it to me. And then we're going to pick up the trash and put it in the trash bins.
That's so
So,
nice.
mind you, we're in a little area of the lake where people are launching their boats at the ramp into the lake. And, so here we are, my 4-year-old sister and 16-year-old me going around picking up all this trash. So we probably just look like good citizens. But I found enough money to pay my car payment
Oh my God.
and to fill up my car with gas
That's insane.
and get by until my next paycheck.
Was it all change or was it paper money
It
too?
was paper money and change.
Okay.
So I'm so freaking excited at this point, and I go home and I tell my mom, "Oh my gosh, I just went to the lake and I found all this money, and here's the car payment, and I got gas in my car." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, just listen to this voice.
So I don't even think I told her I listened to a voice.
I probably wouldn't have said that.
But again, I don't even think I comprehended that there was a voice telling me this. I mean, I don't know. I don't
I
remember
mean,
me
was it
even.
in a different voice or was it your voice or
Was it
like
Morgan Freeman?
No,
it's not Morgan
I
Freeman?
think it was my voice. I
Okay.
think it was my voice, but it
It's
just
like inner
It was like
dialogue.
overpowering.
it just drops out of nowhere. It's
Mm.
like it enters your brain and you're like, "Wait, what?" And
Yeah.
then I just have a conversation back with it, not knowing or even considering, who am I talking to? Am I talking to
Like, is
myself?
this God?
Have I lost? I didn't even consider that. I don't know what I thought, honestly. Like, I
Wow.
don't think I thought anything about it.
Huh.
But it sure was great when I listened to it
Yeah.
and then was able to do what I needed with the money that I found, you know?
It's so strange. It's just such a parallel to like, miracles that religions talk about and stuff like that. So it
Yeah.
makes me feel like there's definitely like now I feel definitely that there's a higher power governing our universe, but who is it and what's after the universe and all that stuff. So
Oh, these sound like lots more episodes, Dylan.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm very interested in that. I always thought I was thinking logically and scientifically when I would, if a synchronicity, I'm gonna call it a coincidence for now. I'm still a skeptic, but if a coincidence would happen, I would just say, humans are programmed to look for patterns, but now I look at it differently and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like everything flows nicer, happier throughout the day, my energy's better. It's just good. And when I'm conscious of that stuff too, it really puts me in a good space. So,
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to say about that in terms of your mood and elevating your energy
Well, and
and that kind
it
of thing.
takes less energy, I feel, because you're not
takes less
fighting.
energy, yeah.
Yeah, you're not fighting it all day.
It's like you're what do they say about frowning takes more muscles than
Yeah.
smiling?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like you brought up, the consciousness of it. So back then, when I
Mhm.
was a teenager, I definitely was not conscious of any of that
Right.
or even like enough to consider. Now, you know, um, that I am more conscious about it. And like I said, I do believe that we are guided by our angels and our guides and whatever you like to call it, the universe, God,
Yeah.
whatever it is you call it. I don't think it really matters what you call it,
I'm
but
more open to it.
yeah, I think it's definitely a thing. And now, I've played games with my angels several years ago. And these types of things don't happen to me all the time or haven't. I'm definitely open for it to happen more and more frequently because it's really cool when it happens. And so several years ago, I was getting a puppy, and it
Mm,
was one of those things where it was you put down your deposit, and whoever put down the deposit first gets to pick which puppy is going to
first.
be theirs on
Yeah.
picking day, on the day they were ready to go home. So I had put down my deposit. I was the last one to put down the deposit. So basically, I was going to get whatever puppy was left over. And so I would go on walks in the neighborhood, and I had a conversation with my angels and guides. And I said, let's play a game. Let's make this fun. I'm getting a new puppy, and I want to know, you guys give me hints to see if I'll know which puppy I'm going to get before picking day because I'm the last one. So I'll get whichever one's left over.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny. I bet they didn't expect that.
well,
They were like, wait a second, we're the ones sending messages.
I think they like to play games, and I
Yeah.
think they like to make I listen to a lot of podcasts on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
with psychics and astrology and all kinds of things. And from what I understand, they have good sense of humor. They like to play games. They like to make it fun. And to Wright's point, it makes you feel good when you are in that connection.
Yeah.
So then you're on the right track, as you've said. So I just decided, let me just try this. Let's try playing a game. So it's like let's play this game. And I was making lists of puppy names, male dogs, female dogs. There were 5 males and 3 females. So I was certain I was going to get a male because there were more of them. And so I was mostly making suggested names on a list of the males. And both of my kids kept saying that all my names were terrible.
Oh my
I had never
goodness.
had a male dog before. I had always had female dogs. So apparently I was not good at naming male dogs. Anyway, a couple of days went by. So I asked them, to help me, give me hints so I would know which puppy. A couple days went by, and then I woke up in the morning and I was at that place where I wasn't fully conscious, but I was awake. And the voice came and said to me, female puppy named Sage. And at first it didn't click with me, but then it was like, wait, female puppy named Sage. And I repeated it to myself like 5 times. Female puppy named Sage. Female puppy named Sage. Oh my gosh. Are they telling me I'm getting a female puppy named Sage? And
Sounds like
so,
it.
and I thought, I really like that name, Sage. So that day I went on a walk and I said, let's talk about this female puppy named Sage thing. So that's a real long shot. There's only 3 females and there's 5 males.
Odds are against you.
So if I'm getting one of the females, the way they described them online, there was orange female because she had an orange collar, red female had a red collar, and light blue female. So I said, which one am I getting? Will it be red, orange, or light blue? And in that moment, as soon as I finished asking the question, my eyes darted to a spot on the sidewalk that had been spray painted orange. So I was like, okay, I think I'm getting orange female. So then I went around telling everybody, I'm getting
Yeah.
the orange female. Getting the orange female. The angels and guides told me I'm getting the orange female. Well, everybody thought, yeah, right.
Yeah.
you know, somebody that I worked with
Michelle's
was like,
drinking on the job.
yeah, somebody that I worked with was like, if that happens, that's going to be really crazy if you get that one. And then one of my daughters was like, Mom, if you get the orange female, I'm literally going to blank in my pants. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm telling you, the angels and guides told me I'm getting the orange female.
Okay.
So weeks go by and it's finally picking day and we have a snowpocalypse here. So I don't get to go to picking day to get my puppy because I would have to drive 3.5 hours there and
Mm.
everything was iced and snow. So I couldn't do it.
No.
So I was going to have to wait till the next week to go pick up the dog. So I let the breeder know that I wasn't going to be able to come. And she said, okay, well, I'll let you know when the picking's done, which one is yours. Oh, and by the way, someone dropped out. So you'll actually have a choice. There will be 2 left. And so I was like, oh, okay, great. So I wait and I wait and I wait hours. And she finally texts me. No, I don't remember if she texted or she called. I think she called me. She called me and
Mm.
she said, okay, there's 2 puppies left. It's going to be orange female or red female. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
goodness.
it's orange female. Orange female is my dog. And I explained to her that the angels and guides had told me I was getting the orange female. And she was like, oh my gosh, I love that. So that is how I ended up with orange female named Sage.
Wow. That dog is a handful.
She is. She picked me though.
She picked you?
She picked me.
Yeah, of course. She has the best life. You give her everything she wants.
Yeah. She picked me.
What now? I'm curious to know if I don't know, I like to play devil's advocate, so if my angels told me to do something, I wonder what would happen if I did the opposite.
It probably would feel really hard and like a struggle.
Oh, I like that.
Because remember what Wright's point was, when it feels good. And I
Yeah.
think that's how you know you're on the right track. If it feels
Mm.
good. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good, then it's like that's probably a no.
But what if
So we have to pay attention to how we feel.
okay.
That's the hard part because
So you're probably excited when you heard orange female. You're like, oh my
oh
god.
heck yeah.
You're like, it worked.
I was like, yes, thank you, angels and guides, for playing this game with me. And now, when I go back and tell people I actually got the orange female, they were all like, wow,
They're like, what?
that's so crazy.
That is kind of
Yeah,
wild.
it is crazy, but so fun. Like, how fun is that?
I mean, I would like to play a game.
Yeah.
I always say, I ask, God or whoever is above us to like turn off the light in the room.
Does it happen?
No, it never happens.
Hmm.
So
Maybe you could make it a little more not so physical.
yeah, okay. Make it 40
Play-
degrees in this room.
Play a different game. I don't know. I feel like everybody should give it a try because I had a great time. And how fun
Yeah.
is it to say, ooh, this really happened?
Yeah. I guess I'll have to think of something to play a game with and try it out. But I'll think of something. I'll let you know how it goes.
That could be your homework assignment.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was just about to say, let me think of something. Like I'm not getting a dog. Let's see.
And
Maybe I'll get a car.
make
I
it
do need a
something
car.
not super important. Like,
Oh, okay. Don't need a
the
car.
getting the dog thing, that's not super important, right?
Right.
It's just a fun kind of whatever. So like don't do it with like, oh, I need to know whether to buy this stock or that stock. Like don't do it with something super important like that. Do it with something just kind of fun and whimsical. But I think everybody should try it. Even our listeners should try it.
Yeah.
And then if you experience something, definitely let us know
Mhm.
because I think that would be super fun to see if other people have an experience with it. Do you guys want to pull a card before we close
Yes.
today.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to pull from the Quantum Oracle, and it is by Sandra Ann Taylor.
Okay. Those look cool.
And I'm just going to ask what our listeners and us need to know today
I like
at
that.
this time, anytime that you listen. Doesn't have to be the day we're recording.
Is this something you can always ask your guides? Just,
Always.
like when you're driving, what do I need to know?
Yeah.
And they'll find some creative way to tell you.
Yeah.
I like that.
I've actually heard that over and over again, that if you start your day every day with asking your angels and your guides or um, God or universe or whoever you talk to, um, that that's how you get guidance on what's your next best step in whatever it is that you're trying to do or create or become or
Oh,
whatever.
I like
I
that.
was watching you do that, and the card just jumped out at you.
It did. It just jumped right out. And we got the friends and colleagues card.
Huh.
Isn't that funny?
Ironic.
That is funny.
Let's see what it says.
What's the card?
This particular deck is broken up into topics. And what does it say at the top, Dylan? People. We got a people card. What number is it?
3.
Okay, people 3. Friends and colleagues. Here it
Three
is.
colleagues.
It's called camaraderie.
Whoa.
So Wright just pointed out maybe a synchronicity. The
Oh,
card number,
yeah.
it says people 3. We are 3 people
We're 3
here.
people.
And friends and colleagues, we are friends and colleagues. And
Yeah.
on the booklet it says camaraderie.
What?
So it says a group of people are gathered around a table laughing and enjoying each other's company. Receiving this card indicates a time of camaraderie and closeness with others. You may be widening your social group or getting
What?
more intimate with someone with whom you resonate greatly.
That's really it's wild.
Whoa. You did that on
This was
purpose.
completely
That's
random.
fake.
I watched you do it.
I saw you had that card up your sleeve. I saw it. You don't
I
even
was
have
shuffling.
sleeves.
I don't even have sleeves. I was shuffling, and what happened? How did the card come out?
The card jumped out of the pile, fell onto the
I think it hit
ground.
the ground, right? Yeah.
But I mean, it was this card.
It says there could also be new connections with people in your work or business environment. A colleague could become a friend. A new association may be willing and ready to give you support on an important project or even help you move forward in your career. These are important energies. So if you're accustomed to isolating yourself, get out of your own way. Whether it's in your personal or work life, let yourself forge genuine new connections and fortify old ones now. This card, upright, could also indicate a party or celebration of some kind. Enjoy these fun times.
That's fantastic.
And the affirmation for this card for everybody is the universe is filled with caring people. I open my life to their wonderful support.
Wow. You got to trust a lot of people. So every time we pulled a card, it was incredibly relevant.
Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I think so these are oracle cards. There's oracle cards and tarot cards, and there's lots of different kinds of divination tools like the dowsing rods and things. But this is just a tool to help you communicate with your
Right.
spiritual team, your guides, your angels, whatever you refer to them as. So
Like I can see them as like a coach,
yeah,
like a football coach. Like Nick Saban is my angel and guide.
sure.
That's
Well,
cool.
it's probably not, but
It's probably not Nick Saban.
yeah. But I truly do believe that we are all guided. I have heard, and I think maybe I believe that we all have a guardian angel that's been with us since the day we took our first breath, and they are with you throughout your lifetime here. But I also believe that there are like you have a team of spirits and guides and
Yeah.
angels that are guiding you. And for some of you, it could be, relatives who are deceased. It could be, anybody on the other side as well. So, anyway, so I started using the cards several years ago. Again, before my first time of doing it, I was introduced by my daughter and a friend of hers.
Hmm.
I was very unsure. I was very hesitant
You're
to
skeptic.
do it. I would say even maybe a little scared of it, not really knowing what it was or what it was meant to be, whether it was, you know, of the good, I guess,
Yeah.
or evil or whatever. But from the time I started using them, I felt like I was really able to connect in.
More
Um,
aligned.
and most every time I've ever pulled a card for anyone in any situation, I used to do it live on Facebook
Hmm.
on Monday nights. I used to go on and just pull a card for whoever came on. And every single person has said that it was relevant to them. I've never had anyone say that they didn't know what the card meant, unless they said they don't know, but then in the next day or two, whatever it was came to them and they came back like, oh my gosh, I get it now. I totally understand. This is what
Hmm.
that card was talking about.
Right.
And so I think it's a really cool tool, and that could be a whole episode in itself. But
Yeah. No, I
for,
like it. It's always insightful.
yeah, so for today, we'll leave everybody with expanding their connections, their friendships, their
Camaraderie.
Three friends
camaraderie.
around a table laughing.
Three amigos.
Yes, yes.
We should start a music group.
I don't know about that. I went along with this. I don't know about the music group.
Unless these are magic microphones, that's not going to work.
Right. Right.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We are truly grateful for each of you. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to follow us on whatever platform you are listening. If you're listening on a podcast platform, please consider leaving a review. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when new episodes are released. Please also leave comments. We would love to know what you think. You can also share this with someone that you think might enjoy our content. Any interaction with the channel truly helps it grow. You can also email us at michelle@fromfinetofab.com, and that's Michelle with 2 L's. Until next time, be fabulous. This podcast is meant for entertainment purposes only. We are not medical, legal, or financial professionals, so always consult a qualified expert before making any changes to your life.